Measuring what really matters. Now, as you can see from that first slide there, I'm not a typical teacher. I was never considered to be so. My background is in PE, but my expertise and skill set is very much in the scientific maths side. Consequently, what I've done for 40 plus years is try as best I can to think scientifically about my life and particularly about the teaching. The first thing that I discovered by 1978 was that what really matters is how we learn and how we can learn effectively. And these 5 requirements are absolutely essential to any learning that you will ever do and any of your students do. Pin this up in your classroom, take it home with you, look at it, study it, apply it to everything yourself, and you will not regret it, because this is going to underpin everything in your life. Exams were considered to be extremely important in the 1970s in science and maths. Obviously I was a PE teacher, it was less important in that. However, I focused intensely on what causes people to be successful in exams, and these 6 activities, you can call them 6 exam skills, underpin any success you need to have in exams. You will discover, as I've demonstrated for the next 30 years, that everybody who is successful in exams has to have a good level of achievement development in these 6 exam skills. Therefore, one of the important things is how do we develop these skills? How do we develop any skills? This is the area of weakness for perhaps the majority of people who haven't spent their time studying, developing, measuring, assessing skills. This is what you need. 2 main things. You need to have an opportunity to display those skills, as we have in exams, and secondly, you have to see how frequently they are going to show that. One of the important things in exams is how infrequently the majority of people actually sit down in the exam environment and do exams. Consequently, if you study people doing exams, you will quickly discover that a lot of people aren't very good at exams. Maybe brilliant at their subject, maybe brilliant in English, maths, science, whatever it might be. But in the exam environment, like we often have in lots of sport environments, they're rubbish. That's why one of the crucial things is to actually underpin what causes us to be successful, healthy and good well-being in our lives. And by the mid-90s, particularly with the development of emotional intelligences and understanding that, these 8 areas are the key 8 skills that are going to underpin absolutely everything. Once you start measuring these, you have got a chance of understanding what your strength, what your children's, what anybody's strengths and weaknesses are. You can apply this in leadership spheres, you can apply this in any area you like, because they are applicable to anything at all. In fact, one of the things I started to do in the 90s, which I would advocate and have been ever since, that's close to 20 years now, is use these reports, use these profiles to assess yourself and your children and anybody else. You can apply them in any area at all. That's why in 2005 you will discover the early years foundation stage introduced a foundation stage profile, which basically were underpinning by these 8 skills, and that's what determined their intervention at that age and their chances of success 20 years later. Recent years, character has become the vogue word, character education. Actually, all they're talking about are those 8 skills which basically you can measure today, tomorrow, anytime you walk away from here. One of the crucial things that we've now discovered is across the globe, by OECD, there are key skills that you hear Andrea Schleicher also talking about, that you must have these skills. That's why these are the things that we need to measure and learn how to measure, because whatever you want to consider, those 8 skills will underpin it completely. That's why I wrote a book many years ago, 2009, in an attempt to try to convey how important this would be. It's about a girl at the age of 11, goes to secondary school without the development in these 8 skilled areas, and she struggles. With the help of Scrooge's ghost sort of thing, she actually finds a way forward. She then applies it in the second novel to help her cousin, who actually goes to a learning success centre where this underpins everything. That's why I would say to you, go away from here, start measuring what really matters, these 8 skills. Thank you very much. I hope you found this extremely useful. I'm sure that when you start applying it, you will.